Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Huskyfoot, and this is my guide for Bastion in Overwatch. Let's get into it. So Bastion is a defending character in Overwatch, or hero should I say, and he is a love-hate kind of character. People hate him, and some people love him, and some people hate him and love him. Depending on the situation, whether you're mowing people down with his Gatling gun or you're being mowed down consistently over and over again with his Gatling gun. Bastion has that attitude of a hippie. He loves everything good, he loves nature, he loves animals, he loves flowers. But he also has that killer mentality of RoboCop and a pissed off R2-D2 and a bad day when you mistake him as a coffee machine. The reason why everybody hates Bastion so much and loves him at the same time is he can be really good. If he's used correctly, he can do a lot of damage. The second reason why people hate him is just because they get killed by him. And this hate comes back from like the first beta ever when Bastion actually had a shield around his front end, and the only way you could actually hurt him is from behind. So if someone were to post up in turret mode with Bastion, and the only way you could get to him is from behind him. And I mean, that's even impenetrable from a Genji if you had a shield in front of him. After the beta, they took away the shield, and it was just Bastion in turret mode without a shield. And during the original betas, he was really good. People didn't really expect it because people didn't know how to play the game. Unfortunately, when the full game launched, Bastion kind of lost his charm because that's all he was. He was an immobile turret, and that's it. And people learned how to play the characters. People learned how to counter him. Now this guide is about his new meta, how Bastion went from pretty much useless to useful, really useful. Now, mind me, he is being patched. I'm not sure what they're going to do to him, what they're going to change or whatnot, but we'll talk about what's changed in him so far and what's made him go from useless to useful. So Bastion's real name is actually E54. You can see that. It's a stamp on the side of his armor and on the front of his chest. He was basically a robot made for battling. All the robots were defeated. He went offline and then came back online as a hippie robot. And that is why he's a nice robot with an army full of weapons on him. His age is actually 30 years old. That's how long ago he was made. And he's a defense role, like I said previously, with a total of 300 health, 100 of that being armor and 200 just being HP. So let's talk about some of Bastion's abilities and weapons. In recon mode, and that's when Bastion's on his legs, running around, he's all mobile and whatnot, he has a submachine gun on his right arm. That submachine gun fires a steady burst of bullets at a medium range. The damage type of this is a rapid fire hit scan. It does 6 to 20 damage a bullet. Fall off range for this gun is 26 to 50 meters. His movement speed is 5.5 meters per second in recon mode. Rate of fire is 8 rounds per second. His magazine holds 25 rounds. His reload time is 2 seconds, and he does do headshot damage in this mode. The second thing I want to talk about is his sentry mode. Everybody hates this. It is the game killer. It's either, you get two kind of players with this. They either can't play it, they suck, they don't know where to set up, and they can't aim for shit, or they just shoot a Genji when he's deflecting back at them, and over again all day long. Or you got the players that know how to set up. They know who to shoot, they know who to target, and they know when to move and set up somewhere else. So in sentry mode, Bastion is 100% totally stationary. He can't move, but oh my god, is he ever a powerhouse. He has a minigun, Gatling gun, whatever you want to call it, and it is capable and always unleashing a hail of bullets. This gun's aim can be walked across multiple targets, dealing devastating damage at short to medium range. And when I mean devastating, that is a understatement. If you get caught in this thing for a second, you're dead. It just shoots too fast. It's disgusting. This has a rapid fire hit scan type damage. The damage it deals is 4 to 15 a bullet. Now you're thinking, oh, you know what, that's not bad. 4 to 15 damage a bullet? Yeah, it is. It's terrible. It hurts. It's 35 to 55 meters fall off range. The movement speed of the character this is 0 because he is stationary. He's stuck. That's the key of this. He's stuck in that position. The rate of fire is 35 rounds per second. 35 rounds hitting you for 4 to 15 damage a second. Now, think about it. if you're a squishy, you're not having any more health than 250. Even if you're a tank at 600, this thing's gonna chew you to pieces. The ammo capacity in this magazine is 300. 300 rounds hitting you, 35 rounds per second. That's gonna drop you in no time. The reload time on this is 2 seconds, so he's gonna be up and shooting another 300 rounds at you within 2 seconds, so you better know how to deal with it. I wanna talk about his ability to reconfigure. That's his third ability, and it's a simple ability. He transforms from his recon mode to his sentry mode and vice versa. But this is something that people overlook. They're like, oh, that's not an ability, that's stupid. Well, it's one thing this defines a good Bastion player from a bad Bastion player. Good Bastion players know how to reconfigure, turn into sentry mode, and then go in recon mode, move, set up again, get out of there, set up somewhere else, and always be surprising the enemy team. Bad Bastion players are the kind of people that just, configure in one spot in sentry mode and sit there until they're dead. That's one downfall of Bastion in sentry mode, is that it's so powerful, his gun that he has. But once the enemy team knows where you are, if you don't move and you're not there to surprise them again, you're gonna be toast. They're gonna counter you so fast. The next ability I want to talk about is his self-repair, and this is the ability that took Bastion from being useless to useful. This was the ability that they patched and they changed that made him take that leap into the meta. What they did was, let's talk about what it is first. This is self-heal, and with his self-heal, he can heal 75 health per second. It has a casting time of 0.5 second delay, and its duration is up to 4 seconds. The cooldown is 1 second with a 7-second recharge. Now, you might think, well, what's the difference here? Like, he could do it before. Well, when he did it before, he couldn't move. He was stationary. He could not move and heal. Now, they've patched it so he can move and heal, and that has changed him significantly. The little delay of healing and not being able to move has gotten me killed with him so many times before. It is crazy. Just that little not being able to, step to the side and miss it getting hit. It has killed me. And there's a little delay of him healing and coming out of his healing that kind of stopped you from moving, that got me killed too. Now, I'm not sure if this is borderline broken or if people just weren't expecting it and they don't really know how to deal with it or counter it or just play around it. They are changing it, mind you. I'm not sure what they're going to do to change this. They're patching something. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but for now I'm going to talk about how he's played now. This has changed him so significantly that I am not kidding. I went 1v1 against a Soldier 76 in recon mode in his health pool, and I just healed through his damage and killed him in his own health pool. That being said, it's because when Soldier 76 puts his health pool down, he can't control when it heals him. It's just going to heal him until it dies out and he doesn't have any more healing. With Bastion itself, you can dodge around his bullets, heal when you need to, and manage it that way to take him out. That is a huge jump for this character. Not only that, with the healing and moving, he has taken more of a DPS role instead of a defense role. He can do both now. He can be the guy to take out Pharahs instead of, if you don't have that Soldier 76 on your team, you can now use Bastion to take out Pharah. Not only that, but a few patches ago they introduced your ultimate's charge on self-heal. Now this has changed Bastion again significantly because Bastion has a very strong ultimate. So jumping in and out of bullets and just keep healing yourself, being careful, you can have his ultimate charge every few minutes. And this is one of the reasons why they're talking about it being broken, because that leads to his ultimate ability we want to talk about. His configuration tank. It is type linear projectile. It does damage, 205 direct hit, 35 self damage. It can hurt you if you hit a wall. Projectile speed is 44 meters per second. The area of effect is 4 meter radius, so it has a splash damage of 4 meter radius. The rate of fire is 1.11 rounds per second. And the ammo is infinite, so you're not going to run out of ammo in this ultimate because it's his ultimate. The casting time for this is 1.5 seconds to get it off, and the duration is 8 seconds. So you have infinite ammo of 205 damage direct hit for 8 seconds. Headshots don't count, obviously, because it's disgusting. It has a charge required is 2,075 points, which you can build up so fast combined with his self-heal. In tank mode, Bastion extends wield treads and a powerful long-range cannon. The cannon's explosive shells demolish targets in a wide blast radius, but Bastion can only remain in this mode for a limited time. But let me tell you, that is time enough to take out an entire team grouped on a point. And if you can keep doing this every few minutes, it gets pretty aggravating for the opposing team. The last ability I want to talk about for Bastion is actually a passive ability. A lot of people don't really know about this because some people don't read their ability lists, but he has a passive ability called Ironclad. And Ironclad, basically, it reduces damage by 20% while he has his armor up when he's in sentry mode or his tank configuration ultimate. Ironclad will take lead in reducing all incoming damage before the armor reduces on his health bar. That's key, before the armor reduces. Bastion has to finish his transformations though to get this passive ability. You can't just hit transform and in the middle of transforming he just automatically gets it. He has to be in the mode. If you're in the middle of transforming, you're being shot, you're going to take regular damage. So it's not really good to try to use this in the middle of a fight, you know, close combat, and you decide you're going to switch in the mode and just kind of kick his passive ability on it. It won't work that way. It's better to be set up and ready for the damage before it's already hitting you. One thing you don't want to do with Bastion, you got to remember he is a heavy hitter. Like, he can fall apart pretty quick, but he can do a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. And now this can be really, really bad for your team at the same time, especially when you get a Bastion player that decides to try to chop down a Zarya while she's bubbled, or any of the characters that she bubbles. Bastion can get characters like Zarya to 100% charge really fucking fast, so you really don't want to do that. If you do that, your team's gonna hate you. They're gonna be like, oh fucking, how did Bastion get play the game, even though they lost terribly. Secondly, don't shoot a Genji while he's deflecting bullets back at you. You're gonna kill yourself as fast as you're trying to kill a Genji that you're not doing any damage to, and he's gonna turn you into a pile of scrap. So this is all in my own opinion, but Bastion is a great character now in his current meta. I'm not saying that because people are gonna be like, oh, you just like him because he's overpowered. No, I can actually counter him very well, and I know how to deal with him. It doesn't piss me off when someone picks him or if the team member picks him anymore. Before it kind of did, especially in ranked, when you were on attack and someone picked Bastion, or even when you were on hold the point. I enjoy him now. He's a lot of fun. He's a fun character to play, and I think he needed this update. He really did. He needed something. He really did, because really he was just a character that was there that wasn't even there. No one gave a shit about him, but now he's there and he's making a name for himself. So he can be played just offensively now, and it doesn't make me mad when someone picks him. You can use him. You can move in. He's really great now with a Reinhardt, not only from before being a defensive stationary player, but now he can move and heal. Staying close to a Reinhardt's amazing. There have been so many times where, you know, a Reinhardt's moved in and I've been like a Soldier 76. I'm sorry I keep using it as comparison, but I'm trying to use offensive characters. There's a whole group of enemies on a point and you're trying to take it, and Reinhardt's having a hard time holding that damage back on his shield, and you need to chop these guys down fast. Not only are you in recon mode, which does some pretty good damage, but you can split into that sentry mode. Just chew people apart and chase them off the point, giving your team that much needed advantage to get on that point. Once they're scattered, their ranks are broken. Once their ranks are broken, you have a better chance of pulling that point in your advantage. He can be used as, again, offensively. Take some damage. Don't feel bad about taking damage. Do it and heal at the same time, because if you take enough damage and heal fast enough and often enough, you're going to get that ultimate charge up and you're going to be in devastating tank mode. Right now, I feel Bastion can 1v1 a lot of characters, not only in tank mode or sentry mode, but in recon mode. I just think he's an overall useful character now, and he really needed that jump. He really did. And I'm not sure what like I said before, I'm not sure what he's going to get patched for. What are the changes going to be? I'm not even sure if they've talked about it. I haven't looked into it personally. I don't know what they're talking about, what kind of changes they're using. If anyone knows, please let me know. He's even versatile enough now to be that sniper chaser, you know, like McCree and Soldier are. You know, he has that ability if you need it. If your compensation needs that stretch, he can go after those snipers. Mind you, those snipers can knock him down pretty quick, but a Widowmaker in close range against Bastion's current meta, you have a much better chance now. He can actually do it. If that player is good enough with Bastion, he can be that person for you. He can fill that spot. Tanks, he's not so good. I don't find that he's the best, especially a 1v1 against a tank. He's no Reaper, but if he is paired with someone, maybe another offense or a tank, even just a tank kind of defending him like a diva, he can cut down divas pretty quick. He can cut down Reinhardt's pretty quick, because even if Reinhardt pops his shield, going into sentry mode, you can pull that shield apart. Now, that is something I want to talk about, is using his sentry mode offensively. You got to be careful with, even in this new meta. A Reinhardt can crush and slam him really quick. Can probably slam you faster than you can get in and out of your sentry mode, so you got to be careful with that. Alright guys, let's do a quick recap on everything. Abilities, we have Ironclad. Ironclad does the reduction of damage when he's in his configuration form. Tank and Sentry. Be sure not to use these in the middle of a firefight if you're taking damage, as it won't work until you are in your sentry mode, so that you can get killed fast. Be sure to use recon mode, move with your team, because he can do that now. Now that he can move and heal, he can be an offensive character. Don't forget that, and he does decent damage, and you don't have to rely on a healer to keep you alive, especially if you're moving with the team, tank to defend you. Post up in sentry mode when you get the moments to do it. Don't do it in a bad way where it's going to hurt your team, because if you post up and you start shooting, and say you're shooting too close to a Reinhardt that could charge you, don't shoot the Zarya bubbles that can charge her and she can decimate your team. Don't shoot at the Genjis. Not only does this deflection damage hurt you, it can hurt the rest of your team too. It will deflect and put damage on everybody else. Use that self-heal. Don't forget to use that self-heal. Right now in his meta, the best way to play him is like a DPS character in certain moments, because taking that damage and healing yourself, oh man, can that ever help you, because you can get that ultimate charge every few minutes. Use that to decimate the enemy team. Take them out. Take those points. Take the payloads. Just use him to overthrow the other team, because he can be used, and when used properly, he can do that. So use him that way. Do not play him like old Bastion. He doesn't need to be played like old Bastion. Don't play him like a shitty Bastion, because your team's gonna hate you for it. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. All the support is much appreciated. Drop a comment below if you guys know anything what's gonna happen with Bastion in the future, how you feel about Bastion, how you feel about his new meta, and how you deal with it, if you deal with it at all. Tell me if you guys like to play him now or not. Tell me if you guys like the old Bastion or the new Bastion. I'd love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed the videos and you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you around, and stay tuned for the next Overwatch Hero Guide coming soon. Thank you. Take it easy.